Okay, you're good. And, okay, so to get some, ooh, actually they can see our reflections in the window. Hey, problem solving. That's so cool. Okay, don't worry. This is still fun for us. Okay, we made it work.
All right.
That's actually really fun. I like it. Okay, enough fun time. Okay, so we had some awesome questions. We'll get our first from the person who asked on our Facebook group, and they asked, is there a time when owls are more active at night vocally, like early evening, or do you hear them all night? The owl we must hear most frequently here at the Scientist Center is the barred owl, and we usually hear it when it first starts to get dark and right after it gets dark, so pretty early in the evening or nighttime.
Of all the different owl species we have here at the Science Center, the barred owl is definitely the most vocal one. And yes, like Ms. Sarah just said, it's right around dusk when it first starts to get dark when they all start calling away the who cooks for you. So yes, that's when you hear them the most here.
And I love it. Earlier this season, we had like 3 or 4 calling at once. It was wonderful. I was just out there calling right back to them, going, whoo, 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 whoo. And it was just marvelous and so much fun. I felt like I was a kid again.
Yes, the barred owls are pretty territorial, so if you have like more than one around your house, they will call back and forth to each other, like showing up like, hey, this is my spot, everyone else, stay away.
Yep, and really when you get a bunch of them calling like that, it kind of sounds like a forest of monkeys too, which is wonderful. Okay, so we had another few questions. The first one is from Kelly, and she's asking, what are some other constellations we can see in Arkansas right now? How can I find them in the night sky?
All right, so on a clear night, there's actually a good number of constellations you can see right now. And one of the things that we actually have to help us find them, that we use here at the Science Center, is our little star wheel. Now, you can use either star wheels like this, or on your phone, there are apps you can download, Star Tracker and Starfinder apps you can download to help you look at the night sky. But right now, one of the constellations you can see in the western sky, low on the horizon, that's one of my favorites, is Orion, the hunter. A lot of people are familiar with Orion and the 3 stars that make up his belt. Near Orion, off to the right-hand side, again on the western sky, on the horizon, is also a constellation we call Taurus, Taurus the bull. It's constellation looks like a V. Those are meant to represent his horns. A couple other constellations you can see at this time of the year. If you face the south, facing the southern sky near, again, the horizon, you can see the Hydra. Now, the Hydra is a very, very long, stretched out constellation, kind of like a snake. The Hydra was supposedly this creature that like Hercules fought in Greek mythology. About in the middle of the sky, one of the constellations we see right now is Ursa Major, the big bear. A lot of people are familiar with Ursa Major.
Oh, guess why you are familiar with Ursa Major? That's because the smaller bit of Ursa Major is the Big Dipper.
Yes, and actually a little bit above Ursa Major in the northern sky, we have the North Star, which forms the end of the Dipper. And a little bit to the left of the North Star, we have another constellation that it's a favorite of mine called Draco. Draco is supposedly a dragon. So lots and lots of different constellations you can see in the night sky right now. And again, you can use like Star Tracker, like apps and stuff download on your phone, so you're not just looking randomly. You can point your phone right out in the night sky and it'll tell you what constellations are where, even if it's like on a cloudy night. So lots of cool stars to see.
Yep, and different times of the year, you're gonna see different constellations. Now, we have another question, if you want to read it.
So this question we have, what kinds of frogs am I hearing in my pond this week? I want to know more about local frogs and how do I do that?
Okay, so depending on where you are, you might hear different frogs. The frogs that are most commonly heard right now are the ones we also hear, which are our spring peepers. But even when I was out there tonight, I heard a couple other different frogs. One of them I wasn't sure, but the other one was one of our bullfrogs. Those guys are really cool. They'll actually eat anything that can fit into their mouth. Now, if you want to learn more about what type of frogs you might have in your area or kind of listen to their call, you can go to that Facebook page I posted up there, also called herpsofarkansas.com. That's herps, H-E-R-P-S. And herps are just our reptiles and amphibians. So if you go to the frog section, it'll give you lots of information about that.
One of the other frogs I actually have heard recently around here is our cricket frogs. They're another
Oh,
small little
yes.
frog. I'm not sure if we've heard them tonight, but earlier in the week during the day, I heard a couple cricket frogs. They're very small, like the spring peeper. And their call's a little bit like taking two marbles and clacking the marbles together. It's a real, almost like a metallic kind of sound. They're very cool, though.
Yes. So we also, and that question was from Anne. Our next question is from Brooklyn, and the question is, where do animals go at night?
Right, so there's a lot of different places animals can go at night, depending on what kind of animal it is. Some animals, of course, sleep at night. They'll go into burrows or dens or just stay above ground. Other, like of our nocturnal, our nighttime animals will be out wandering about. Owls will rest up in trees. Coyotes may be out wandering around. A few nights ago, we heard coyotes yipping and howling away out here. Of course, some animals might be in the water or near the water, go down to get a drink, or animals that live in the water like fish. So pretty much animals will go just about anywhere they would during the day. The animals that are awake at night might be sleeping in their burrows during the day, while the animals that are diurnal out during the day are out wandering around.
And our diurnal birds, which is our daytime birds, they will roost in our trees, kind of staying hidden, also a little bit warm, especially in a cold light night like that. You might see lots of them kind of crowding together, help and kind of fluff up their feathers to help kind of stay warm too.
Yeah, the animals will go just about pretty much anywhere, whether they're nocturnal or diurnal, awake during the day. So animals will be, some will be sleeping, some will be out roaming, wandering, and searching around.
And when they're sleeping, not only are they trying to stay warm, especially in a cool night like this, they're also trying to stay hidden so something doesn't eat them while they're sleeping.
Exactly. One of our other nocturnal animals we've been hearing a little bit lately is a nocturnal bird called a whippoorwill.
Oh,
We're
yes.
starting to hear those. They're these little brown birds. You're probably not going to see them hardly ever at all, but they say their name. They go, whippoorwill, 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 and they only call it night, and they're real cool.
Yes, like I said earlier, it's a little bit chilly to hear them right now. Usually I hear them on warmer nights, but soon, guys, especially if you live in the country, you are going to be hearing them throughout a good bit of the night. I mean, they'll call pretty late, and sometimes, especially during the breeding season, they start calling pretty early in the morning.
Yes, they do.
I know one likes to be my alarm clock. Okay, we have another question from Liam. What are the different bugs I hear buzzing on warm nights? So it could be a few of them. One of the loudest ones we have right now, well, not right now, but once it starts getting warmer, are cicadas. A lot of people locally will call them locusts, but these little guys like to hang out on the trees, and they're just kind of like, and they're really, really loud, really obnoxious, but also really cool.
Yeah, they're kind of like a characteristic almost insect of summer. Again, like Sarah said, it's a little early for them now. Once we get into summer, you'll hear them all summer long up in the trees.
They're the ones that also crawl up out of the ground, and you'll see their sheds all different sorts of places. But as adults, they just kind of drink the nectar from the tree, or not nectar, sap, I should say. But they're really cool. Lots of animals like to eat them, take advantage of that, because summertime is when they're coming out. They're also really cool because we have some that are called periodic cicadas that will come out after several years. Some of them, I believe, will come out after being larvae for 17 years. And then they spend one summer out about doing the breeding thing, and then they're dead.
And some of the cicadas that spend the really long time underground, like 17 years, they will come out in large, large numbers over the course of one summer.
And then some of those other nighttime animals you might be hearing buzzing around might be those grasshoppers and those crickets. But cicadas, I believe, at least where I've heard them, are definitely a lot louder than those crickets.
Yeah.
Okay, and then our last question, can I identify animals by their eye shine? And that is really cool. Yes, you can. So I will try to get a link posted on our Facebook page where you can actually hear it, find out that information about where you can. But yeah, you can totally find out what animal it is, or at least limit it, depending on the color of the eye shine. Especially some of our herps, our frogs, and even alligators kind of have a reddish orangish eye shine. A lot of our mammals usually have a greenish or a bluish eye shine. And these biologists not only tell what that animal is by what color eye shine, but how that animal moves. If you have a spotlight on that animal, you're really seeing that eye shine, you can kind of see how it's moving. And that can help limit what you're seeing as well.
That's pretty cool there. The different animals have different colors of eye shine based on what type of animal it is. That's pretty amazing.
I know. And for those of you who have had pets or have seen your parents driving down the road at night and have seen that deer eye shine, try to take note of what different colors you guys are seeing. And you might be able to keep a little journal of your own different colors and animals that they go to. So that is all for our Find Out Friday. Thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Definitely, thank you so much. We hope you guys are able to hear some awesome stuff out on the deck, and we hope you're able to answer your questions for you. So thank you very much, definitely, for joining us.
Okay, see you next week.
All right, see y'all next week.